As I promised, I'm going to record my competition in the Intersteno Internet Mother Tongue Contest. I'm going to be doing a 10-minute English test. At the moment, Jelani Nelson is leading it with a score just over 7,000. I usually beat that. Things get interesting here if my camera falls from its precarious position, but I hope that doesn't happen. It annoys me when it changes lines in the middle of the line. Nice to see a grammatical error in this. Some people might screw that up by typing it right. Of course, lots of the quotes I'm uploading on TypeRacer probably have poor grammar too, so I'm not one to talk. Here, I think it's a good idea almost always to, when you feel a typo, to always backspace back to it. Oftentimes you won't feel typos, but, well, that's pretty rare for me, actually. I usually feel them. Missed space bars are usually the typos I am least likely to feel, and the most ugly ones as a result. I'm sure I will have some of these. I almost never have 0 typos in this, because you have to go by feel. Spending enough time to look at every character and slow down is a mistake. Probably talking, and this is a mistake, and probably not many people have done this before, but on something as official as this. That one I'm not going to correct. I had typed too much since I made the error. You have to be very careful at the end not to make typos, because typos there kill. Especially when you can feel the typo but can't quite correct it. $86.77. Wow. Is that my best score ever? I think it's close. I don't usually get scores like that on this. That is 897.7 characters per minute. So yes, if you account for the errors, then that's about 174 words per minute. But I think I'm using more like 160 words per minute, like 8,000. I want to look at what my other scores were in the past. That was an unusually good one, even for me, even with me talking in it. Alright, classification lists. 2010 was the first one I did. These can load rather slowly. I might do better just going to my site and following the links off there. Well, I didn't quite break Carlo Parisi's record, but I did beat him on number of keystrokes. I believe that sets the record for number of keystrokes ever typed on the Mother Tongue contest. Oh wait, he got a higher score than that later, actually. That's right, he did. Yeah, I'm usually way more conservative than this, clearly. Most of my scores have been in the 7,000s. This was a really good one, and I'm glad that I got this one on video showing my fingers. And yes, Carlo Parisi did have a much higher score another time. Okay, unless somebody uses the stenography application. And Mark Kislingbury, who is the Guinness World Record holder for fastest stenography typing, he did compete in the last one and finished third. He was close to me in number of keystrokes, but had a lot more errors. Unless there's a stenography person that's going to hold up. And most of the Czech and Turkish people who used to dominate this contest aren't appearing here yet, but they might in the last week. It ends on May 9th. But that's my highest score ever, and it should hold up. Alright. Now I'm going to go back to 10fastfingers, where I have a few new things to verify. Last night, when I wasn't logged in there, I got a 177 on the advanced Italian test, and I would like to verify that. And I also got a 175 on Indonesian, and I'd like to get at least a 165 on Indonesian advanced to verify that and raise my score. That should tie me with Gabriel 7 for leading on 9 10fastfingers tests. I'm going to look at my scores first. A lot of people have come to visit. All right. Oh, it was 166 on Italian advanced. What is Gabriel's listed score at the moment? $157. So all I need is a 156 on Italian, and I will certify that. So that is what I'm going to do first. Oh, it's Italian advanced. All right. It might take a while because of the accent marks. I know people have recommended alternate keyboard layouts and stuff, and eventually I'm probably going to do that on here. I did do alternate keyboard layouts for the Intersteno contest where they allow all sorts of macros and things, but I would rather not use macros whenever possible. I know there's a QWERTY International keyboard that I haven't really looked at setting up, and I might do that for a lot of these European tests, although I imagine most of the European scores I wouldn't break. I obviously wouldn't break Kukane's Portuguese score, or Matthias's Dutch score, or Lucas Dupont's French score, most likely. Italian, there doesn't seem to be a major standout Italian typist, so the people who are dominating in other languages apparently are dominating here. All right. Bad start. I at least typed relatively normally on the Intersteno test rather than doing like what I'm doing now, putting my leg over the chair and stuff, which is a lot of what I was doing 2 nights ago when I did that other stuff. I violate basically all the supposed laws of typing, posture and home row and everything. I don't even have any other motor skills other than this. And I don't have experience on piano or anything like that either. I defy so many conventions at this. Alright, 161. That certifies my 166. So now Gabriel and I are tied at 9. I want to raise that Indonesian score because I know he's really close. My high in Indonesian advance was 154, but I got a 166, so I want a 156 to certify that and raise that score as defense against Gabriel, who's likely to break that score I currently have pretty easily. I already forgot the score I need. 156, okay. Wait, I'll reload because they want that. This is looking good. $174. Did I just break it? Oh, I wasn't on advanced. I wasn't on advanced. All right, that's why that was so easy. And I did not quite break the score I had there, so that was pointless, although maybe fun to watch. I don't know. Yeah, much harder words here. I'm going to reload because I didn't push the reload button. This is also looking fine probably to certify, unless I make a lot of errors here, which I'm probably going to do since I'm talking. Okay, 160, that's all I needed to certify the 166. Alright, and Linsk suggested I do some other, oh, that was on the YouTube video, requested that I do some other tests, because there were a few others that didn't have accent marks. $167, and the current record is 174. Well, this is very meta. Albanian and Romanian, okay. I was trying to hide my YouTube links out of embarrassment because of how shallow my tastes are. Albanian 170, okay, that'll be hard because it's cocaine. I already forgot what the other language was. Mute past me. Only present me should be talking. Albanian and Romanian, okay. And apparently the cat was in that last video as well, even though I didn't see Buddy pass by me. And Albanian and Romanian, do these have advanced? Yes, they do. Alright. 170, I doubt I'm getting that. Look at how wild a lot of these words are. Not 170 words per minute. But I mean, if Cocaine got it, obviously he probably did it a lot of times because he does. 145, yeah. That won't be easy, but I'll try it a few more times. I'm surprised somebody who focuses on short text as much as Cocaine does could get 170 on this, not his native tongue. A little better, but gaining 20 words a minute is not exactly something that grows on trees. I'm gaining each time. I mean, this is something I've never typed in before, so I didn't expect to set a record the first time, especially when the record is held by Cocaine, one of the big guys. That looked like it was going to be faster than any of the others. I'll do a few more, but I'm not. Probably not breaking a 170 on this. Will probably be the highest one, but not by much because of that slow ending. Yeah. No way, no way. Alright. Albanian Advanced looks more doable, probably, because Kukane's a better typist than Gabriel is, I think. And I would guess that score is therefore more beatable. It's also a lot lower but there are lots of accent marks here. Alright, I have to remember how to type that. I don't remember. Is it 138? 137, that looks like the only one, so I'll try it with the accent, see how that works. Too many to just skip these words. Yeah, this is one I'd almost have to use some sort of macro or alternate keyboard layout to type those. Ease with the umlauts. And Taro Yada could probably do what I'm doing with the numeric keypad even faster than I could. He might beat me on this, doing it this way. I don't know if Taro is actually on this site or not. Spending all that time to do an Alt 137 and then missing the word, that sucks. Okay, there's a reason that record is so low. I should have figured. It's the umlauts. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna wait before trying to set that. And Romanian does I bet the record on this is going to be pretty high. I don't see any accent marks. 166, and again it's Gabriel. If this was Andre Christescu, I'd probably, the score would probably be higher and harder to beat. But I think I can probably get this one. Not the first try, most likely, but actually, this feels pretty good to type. I have typed in Romanian before, I think on Typing Zone sometimes. It might not be the record, but it's going to be close. Close. This one I'm going to try and break right now, if I don't right here, which I might. 166, what was his? 166, 832 characters per minute. I lost by 4. Alright, that I'm certainly trying again without talking. All the errors cost me this one, I'm sure. This is going to be slower. Yeah. Won't do it either. I can feel that this is not fast enough compared to that other one, which I was smoother on. $166,828. Same thing I did before, so it looks like I was faster but more error prone. Getting so close on this, obviously I have to keep going for it. Actually, F5 is better. It is wild how close to the record I can get on a lot of these things on my first attempt. Obviously Albanian wasn't going to work because Cocaine had it, and he's a lot faster overall than Gabriel Seddon is. Although he is really good to be that good in that many languages. He might be more well-rounded than Cocaine is. Assuming I don't make an error, this should do it, I think. Well, not by much. All right. I'm still gonna try and go higher, maybe a couple times. That ending, because I somehow clicked outside of it, blew it there. Yeah, alright, I'm done. I'm not feeling it. Okay, way too many accents here to take this one. Makes sense Lucas Dupont would have this one because, yes, in French they use a lot of accents, not a lot of these particular accents. So it looks like that's the only one I can really legitimately take without setting up lots of new keyboard layouts. I have done a lot of Dutch because, I mean, I've broken some of Matthias's records, and he's broken some of mine in English, which is amazing. I mean, yes, he's fluent in English, but you don't expect people who weren't born in English native countries to break my records in English. I mean, I think only Cocaine, Matthias, and Eric Trider have done it, which is a large reason why I put all three of them in my global top 10 list. Obviously, there are legends still alive like Ron Mingo and Michael Shestov. I'm not really considering here because I'm thinking exclusively of the online scene, which is really mostly just a millennial thing. This is actually going to be really good, but not nearly his record. No. I thought I saw the cat pass me on the camera. I guess I didn't. Yeah, no. I'll just do the caption once I get that done. Blew this one. Way too concerned about errors. This won't do it. Zero words per minute, that I don't get. Okay, that works. So I claimed Italian Advanced and Romanian Regular. That brings me to 8. Sorry, me to 10 and knocks Gabriel down to 8. I guess that's a good stopping point for the night. I'm sure Gabriel will get something back in the next couple days and tie me again, and that's fine. I've at least proven myself a little bit more on the international scene for the first time in a while. I may be done here unless Gabriel passes me again, which is likely. Okay, so I'll write on the last page right now. No, I do not type my posts at 200 words per minute. I have to think about that, especially when I'm trying to pretend to be clever. Okay. Should I do some TypeRacer? Okay, I'll do some TypeRacer races in my new universe. These are quotes that I'm going to be adding to TypeRacer. There are 1,000 of them, and I'm going to be adding more than just this. I still have a list of several more things I want to quote. These are things that haven't been quoted yet on TypeRacer. This is from my favorite TV sitcom, WKRP in Cincinnati, although I think a lot of people should recognize that this is one of the most famous television episodes ever, at least prior to the 21st century anyway. Since I haven't typed most of these things, I'm going to be substantially slower than on the regular TypeRacer universe, where there are so many of those things I've typed over and over and over again. But that makes it more of a challenge, and these are almost all quotes of things I like a lot that weren't already quoted. I was going to do this in a more structured manner. Michael DeRoche and I were planning to go through all the top 1,000 most critically acclaimed books, movies, musical artists, or whatever. But we ended up not doing this new quote import in anywhere near as organized a manner as I was initially intending when I suggested to Michael this project. Here's a quote that it wouldn't surprise me if Alex wouldn't accept because it's kind of too edgy, but it's one of my favorite shallow pop songs, or sort of shallow pop songs. I love media satires, especially from the era when the media actually could generally be taken seriously, which I think is something that could be said about the 80s to some degree. At least they took themselves seriously. Nowadays they don't even do that. There are a lot of teen dramas I like. Freaks and Geeks I kind of like. I don't understand why it's the most critically acclaimed ever, though. I guess because so many of the actors went on to hit movies later. I think there were a lot of other shows I liked more. I wanted to like that show more than I did. but I expect it would be very popular with the TypeRacer audience, which is why I included a bunch of quotes from there. This is proving to be way harder than it looks like. Or it's me talking in the middle of it. Field of Dreams is my favorite movie ever, even though I have next to no interest in baseball. There were so many characters before the typo in that one that I just decided to subtract there, or backspace there rather than doing Control A or Shift Home or anything like that. I was sort of surprised how few Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings quotes there were in the actual TypeRacer universe. It was only like 3 to 5 of each. I raised that by about 20 or 25 in this universe because I figure it's something that most people would expect a lot from. I may adjust some of these quotes. Almost all these TV and movie quotes, in my opinion, had way too many commas in them, and I copied them in that way. I think a lot of the quotes may be slightly off from the actual TV or movie quotes. Now I'm definitely probably going to get rid of a lot of those commas when I actually submit these quotes more formally, and there are some TV quotes I like literally put in the interjections, like the uhs and the ums, which may make it more realistic to listen to, but is probably something I should remove when typing because it's probably considered too annoying for that. I mean, there are already a lot of things that aren't on there that aren't quite verbatim, but written better in the TypeRacer form. Like that Monty Python quote, which was actually part of a conversation. But they only included the conversation, part of the conversation. They only included one character as part of whatever conversation that was. I'll go into the regular universe a bit too, and then I'm done. How long have I been on? Probably, oh yeah, this is going to be just as long as the other one. So this will take all night to upload too. I'm never really satisfied unless I can get an average speed of 180 words per minute and finish on a multiple of 10 races. So I'm going to stop here at 14,700. Oh, it's a good start that I beat 180 on that one. And I get a lot more 180s on these long quotes than I do on the short ones, where I usually try to type too fast, make an error, and can't make up for my errors in time. Well, alright, this one was uploaded pretty I mean, pretty verbatim, even though. There were grammatical errors, which were obviously intentional because Huckleberry Finn wasn't very educated. Crud. It would have been nice to get a 200 with me showing my fingers. Well, I've already done that on 10 fast fingers. And some people find that harder. I mean, I know Michael DeRoche and Izzy both say they haven't gotten past the 190s on 10 fast fingers, which surprises me since I think they're both better than a lot of people who have. That's one of my least favorite ones. You'll see a lot of really low scores on this one, yes. I haven't even gotten to 180, though, since the summer of 2012, my peak period. But I got enough 180s before that should cover that. Yeah, I'm still up 5 from a 180 average. You can see here I do have pretty consistent accuracy even when I don't get 100, which isn't often, but I have a lot of 99s here. This looks hard. Well, better than I thought it would be. Oh, and I guess it was harder than a lot of the newer quotes because that was the record. And my 175 before that was also the record. Those sentences in that are too short, and that weird name capitalized at the end. I'm satisfied by that. Well, at least I kind of salvaged that. This is not one I like because it's too shortened. If I type conservatively on it, I won't get 180, and if I type aggressively to try to get 200 or something, I likely won't because I'll make an error. See. Okay. Obscure Moody Blues song. My favorite obscure Moody Blues song is probably Sittin' at the Wheel, but that's not that obscure because it was a top 40 pop hit. But a completely forgotten one at this point. Okay, so what do I need? 176 to ensure a last 10 of 180. And that doesn't really look like I'm going to get it. Oh well, this is still pretty good. Above my average anyway. Even though I didn't come close to a 200. Like I came close to a 200 at one time. Well, I guess I called it 176 precisely. Okay, I'm done. Good night, everyone. Just as long as the previous one. I guess this is going to be like my regular length or something. I don't know. Good night.